All right, let's see what Gibson's doing on the demo shop this week. We've got Black Classic, Black Custom, Black Custom, Black Custom, Black... Well, what is going on here? Oh, it must be Black Friday. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. That was just a cheesy reenactment of what I saw on Thursday when the demo shop updated. As you can see here, the bulk majority of everything was in the ebony finish, and they tried to give you some pretty good deals on these things. So let's go ahead and do that recap of the demo shop and the mod collection. This week, starting with the demo shop first. So you got a couple of customs. This one, they put one of the Bigsby Vibramates on here, kind of give it a cool vibe. But that was at $4,000. That's not necessarily a steal of a deal, but some of these were priced a little bit more appropriately. This custom, instead of doing the Bigsby, they decided to black out all the hardware. Other than that, nothing else too fancy. And the next custom was just a straight up 3 pickup one. That's always a cool look. But when I started to see all the black guitars, I was curious if we were going to see, a black Les Paul Custom, a black SG Custom, which we just happened to see right here. That one doesn't seem to be that terribly priced. But then I was thinking, are we going to see the Flying V? Are we going to see the Firebird? The only custom that we didn't end up seeing, as far as I'm aware of, is the Explorer Custom. Because I thought that'd be cool if you could pick up a complete set of those on Black Friday. Because once again, $36.99 was actually an okay price for one of these. And then, of course, we got the Firebird here. But other than that, we had a classic. There was a studio in 2 different variations here. One just had a darker colored fretboard. Even the lefties got to join in here with the SG Special 60s tribute with a very light fretboard. They had the studio in a satin ebony. And then as far as colored guitars that are currently still available in the shop, I wanted to share this red ES335 dot, they called it. Not necessarily because of the finish or anything, but because of the hardware. Zoom in here. Doesn't that look decrepitly old? And then when you get to the tuners, it's like, oh yeah, those are very old too. We've seen this before, and I thought they just bought used parts, because that doesn't look like an aging job anymore. That actually starts to look real. So maybe that's Gibson experimenting, or just parts that went bad. I don't know. And then there was the satin finished RO, which seems to be something that they're doing more often on these Gibson custom shops. I mean, a 1960 reissue, I think this one was like $4,200. Now granted, it's not the highly polished finish, but that seems to be a pretty decent price for one of these. But strangely enough, comes in a Gibson USA case. But we've got a few other things to look at from the sold listings. Out of all the Black Thursday guitars, when they uploaded these, I thought this was the best deal of them all. It was one of their exclusive ebony finish standards that they kind of gave an Ace Frehley vibe to. They've got all the double cream, and that looks so great with this finish. But these things, I think they're brand new, $26.99 now. And this thing was only $1,900. Nice. Here they had an SG Standard for $12. You might be thinking that sounds kind of cheap, but outside of the whole Black Friday thing, the reason I wanted to share this one is, hey, look at our inlay. This is a really old guitar from 2014. It spent a good 8 years at Gibson in the catacombs. So it's nice that it actually gets to get out and be loved. And here was a Lefty Custom Shop SG with the custom attributes. I think that might be the first one that we've seen here. So that made somebody happy. And then I think this is the first exclusive olive drab finished Les Paul Special we've seen. There's been a whole boatload of these in the right-handed format lately, but not in the lefty. They even reversed the Les Paul model silkscreen. So I'm sure that made a lefty very happy that they're starting to apparently make these. So maybe we'll see these things show up in the exclusive collection soon. But man, that looks so strange. Then as far as interesting modifications within the ebony finish this week, we had this Les Paul Classic that they decided to put a dog ear P90 in the bridge pickup and leave the stock humbucker alone, and then they put a Bigsby on it. It looks kind of cool. I like the ebony finish guitars when they have the cream plastics. It really works well. This was one of the older Les Paul specials that they put Dirty Fingers pickups in. They give it the Moto Pickguard with the ambered knobs, made everything gold, but it looks like they put maybe black chrome toppers on the pickup rings, and then they might have went as far as putting the red ambered style rings underneath that to match the knobs. I'm guessing this modification job would probably look a little bit better in person. And now I'm starting to realize why that other Les Paul Special decal looks so strange. Normally they would just flip it and it'd be up here. Why was that other one down there? But anyways, they got this like brass colored truss rod cover on it. It just looks good. And then you get to the back. I like the way this is all laid out. You've got the gold, mod stamp down here, made in USA, perfectly centered. I like the way that looks, although I think the mod should be stamped closer to the serial number, just because sometimes on the used secondhand market, it'd be easier to hide from somebody that it is a mod. Not that it really matters at this point in time, but maybe in the future when there's more, these could sell for less. Then there was a fantastic deal on one of these 60th anniversary SG Customs, $5,300. You can see the original retail price right here, about $6,700. We just reviewed this guitar not too long ago. And hey, if you're sad you missed out on this deal, I'll match the price. You just have to message me through my website or direct email. I'll do that via PayPal for my demo unit. That's not stamped demo. Next up, this Flying V was kind of interesting. So this is the version that has the Gibson logo on the headstock. Except for some goofy guy at the demo shop was like, hey, how about we put the regular truss rod cover on it on top of the Gibson logo? So this is just the double Gibson. Like when you need everybody to know that you're playing a Gibson guitar, whether it's hanging up straight on a wall or you're playing it on stage at an angle, they can see it. I'm guessing why this cover ended up in the demo shop pile is because it was stamped way off center. And then somebody went kinda crazy right here with some sort of a tool to adjust the height of the bridge. So yeah, the demo shop was kind of boring this week, but they were trying to fulfill a theme, so I like that. But the mod collection, here's where things got different. I think this was the very first time I was actually on this page as everything was updating, and like every time I refreshed the page, there was something new. And I bought something. We'll review it next week when it gets here. Thanksgiving delayed the shipping time, so I'll let you guys guess which one of these did I buy, or is it one that I'm not even going to talk about? Currently, we have that leftover 335, but you're going to notice those really expensive 10K double necks are gone. So apparently somebody fell in love with them and bought both. But then we got an Ebony Access Custom, a 339, and a Les Paul Tribute with a trapeze tailpiece. Still cool guitars with decent prices, but nothing like what we saw. So the first one to take a look at here is a 56 reissue. So a 1956 Les Paul would have two P90 pickups and an ABR1 bridge. 57 is when they introduced the humbuckers in here. But instead of being a gold top, they have this like emerald jade green finish. And it was an okay price, $4,400. They called it Magic Green. However, this isn't the green color I generally like. I like the darker hues personally, so I let this one go for someone else. But I do like the way that this fretboard matches the back very well. You can see what I'm talking about right here. That is definitely a warmer hue than you normally see back here. But then why did they put junior tuners on here? I don't like that. But what I do like is the ambered over lacquer that they used for the headstock. That looks pretty cool. Oh, and in case you missed it, they threw a Bigsby on here, all chromed out hardware. Next up, we had Scarab Green Metallic. This week was just all about my favorite colors, right? Black and green. Here's a green one with some black, and you've got the gold hardware with the black plastics all customed out. It's a pretty cool finish. Moving up the neck, I was like, ooh, look at that. Did they actually do a light green finish over the Gibson logo? Because that would have been really cool, but no, it just seems to be the mother of pearl was reflecting at an angle that kind of showed some of that, or it was reflecting the finish on the guitar or something. But that was definitely a cool piece. You don't see sparkly green Les Paul Customs that often. Great for Christmas coming up. And now that I'm thinking about Christmas, I'm kind of excited to see what they might do for the demo shop and mod collection for the upcoming Christmas. Lots of red and green would be my guess. But now check out this tasty Les Paul Jr. Okay, so it looks like they stole this Junior's tuners to put on the custom shop, and they stole the custom shop's tuners for this one. But as we go down here, I don't really know what this design is, but it looks pretty cool. So, what we're seeing right here is it looks like they might have actually converted this one like the Brian Ray SG Jr., where you can actually probably convert this back into a wrap tail if you want, but they put one of these Bigsby, I believe it's the B5 unit on it. I mean, it looks okay, but I feel like it's in the way of your knobs, like that's too close. But I suppose you can always just reach over here to grab it, so it's probably not as bad as it seems. But then they just have these whites and dots going on. I'm not sure what that's referencing. I'm not seeing any mention of the adjustable nature of that, so that might just be a cap over top of the existing studs. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's a conversion unit. Oh man, and I'm just now realizing it. That's not a stock Junior pickguard. That's something completely custom. I'm not sure if I like it now that I've noticed it, but it is a tortoiseshell color, and then they've got that other design. And then there was this thing, they called it Lilac Luster. where they have this really dark purple finish here that looks like it'll have some metallic nature to it, but then the binding is actually a completely different color. It's a light colored metallic. But then they have our black hardware on here with these special pickup ring toppers with what looks like maybe the colored pickup rings. I'm not sure, it's kind of hard to tell right now, but black plastics elsewhere to match the hardware. And then, just like that green one, I was thinking that it had the colored headstock. This one definitely does. It's got that sprayed over light lilac color here, so I thought that was pretty cool. They've got the black tuners with the black washers, but the gold nuts to make it look cool. And unlike that last green one, it wasn't a black back. They decided to just do purple. But then I saw it. This is not just a purple back. Do you guys see what I see? That is a stinger on the back of the heel. That is a stinger on the back of the headstock. That is a double stinger Les Paul Custom Widow. And on top of all that, it comes with a custom shop case, regular custom bucker pickups and stuff for that. How cool was that thing? Was that the one I got, or was I too late? I guess only time will tell. Maybe I got that green custom, or maybe it was that weird Les Paul Jr. that I kinda liked. But I've got one last one to share with you. Les Paul Studio Acid Fire. For $18.99, you could get this. I'm going to try to be nice on this one. It's not for me, but I can appreciate some factors. This is supposed to look like something was burning. They had a dark red finish that kind of melted into a more goldish hue, and then all the way down to like a primer white and then a black underneath that. So it's got an interesting paint job. Looks like all black chromed out hardware. They went as far as doing the clear pickguard. Not too much has changed on our headstock. But here's where I'll give them some credit. At least it wasn't just a top only refinish. They went as far as doing the entire guitar. And I would say the back actually looks a little bit betterly executed than the top. But it looks like this photo does show us, okay, did they do it on the side as well? Nice. So even though I'm not a big fan of the end results, I gotta give props to the guy who dreamed this up. At least you did the entire thing. And who knows, maybe this would actually look way better in person. But since they put so much time into it, they took the case away and gave it a gig bag, as to not make it $2,200. But thank you, Troglodytes, for tuning in to this special Black Friday episode with our demo shop recap this week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care. Yeah, it was the purple custom.